here yesterday. He was a day early.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he the
He came
one that
in
did
and
it?
then he realized he left.
Yeah. Okay.
That was him.
Good morning. This is the Syracuse City Board of Assessment Review. It is Tuesday, February 11th. It's about 9:07 a.m., and I wanted to open up the meeting this morning. We'll have a roll call. My name is Joe Saya.
Lou Strub.
Carl Masterful.
Bill Ryan.
Okay, thank you very much. Just wanted to remind everyone that these meetings are videotaped and recorded and can be seen on YouTube. And if you want that address, Michelle can give that to you. You can reference it at a later date. Okay, so looks like the first property we have is 142 Lafayette Road. If you want to come right up here, yes. Good morning.
Gary Nastasi.
Yeah, have a seat.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'll swear you in,
Okay.
and then I'll read some information in about the property, and then I'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
And if you could just push the mic a little bit closer, that's great. Thank you very much. Okay. If you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Gary S. Nastasi, Nastasi.
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability.
I do.
Okay, very good. Let me just read in a little information here. 142 Lafayette Road.
I submitted an explanation. I don't know if you had a chance to read it or not.
Not as of yet, but I do
Okay.
see it in here, and we certainly will review it
Okay.
prior to making any decisions.
Oh, okay, you don't want to read it now, or, I mean, because my explanation is basically going to be what's on paper there.
Okay, well, I'd be glad to read that into the record.
Okay.
So, yeah, no problem. Let me just firm up some numbers. Once again, 142 Lafayette Road. So this is this a lot?
It's a 4.33 acre lot that was part of the rezoned Syracuse. They went from R1, they wanted to go to R4, which I was in agreement with. And, everybody's looking for housing, affordable housing. It's a perfect lot to build housing on. I fought very hard to go along with the city of Syracuse for the rezone. Councilman Majoke was very instrumental in helping that happen. He was looking at both sides. There were sides against it, obviously, but there was a lot of us on Lafayette Road that were for it. I own, I'll put it this way, 4 1/4 properties on Lafayette Road. The quarter is my brother, my 2 sisters, and me own the family home. So the other ones are all mine. I own 142, 150, 142 is the vacant lot in question. 154 is my house. My grandfather built it. My mother grew up there, and I'm in there now. The house next door, 162, is the family home. That's where I grew up. My parents built that. Then there was a lot in between that and 202. The lot was just recently subdivided for 2 women that started a nonprofit for young adults that can live on their own. They're going to build like a 16 to 20 unit building in there eventually for young adults that can live on their own. And then 202 I rent that one out. And then I own 234 up the road. I've got my niece in there. That's supposed to be my retirement home. Beautiful little brick ranch. She says, Uncle G, I love this house. I'm never leaving. So I'm stuck in my house, which is a 2-story. I said, honey, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
I said, I'm supposed to have the 1-story house.
Sure.
But anyway, so that's the story there. As far as 202 goes, like I said, or I'm sorry, as far as 142 goes, everybody's screaming for affordable housing. I've had 4 purchase offers, actually more than that, but I'll just say 4 purchase offers on the lot. The first 3 withdrew, and they all had deposits with them. The first 3 withdrew because it took the city so long to change the zoning. This last one I had, deposit, ready to go. The guy is so excited about the lot, he's ready to start digging by hand. That's how much he loves it, to build affordable housing. And it's listed in there. I had to return the deposit about 4 or 5 weeks after, because the sewer system, they're saying the sewer system is inadequate.
Oh, okay.
So Councilman Majoke knows about this. I'm working with him. There's also a developer trying to develop the Lafayette Country Club up the road, and they're all working on it. They've been to Albany, they've been with Ryan McMahon, they've been with the mayor, they've been with everybody trying to get, things, the sewer increased so all this can be built. Everybody's screaming for affordable housing, but can't build it.
Yeah.
The developer that's trying to do the country club, I spoke with her. She's from California. She's coming into town this month, and we're going to try to get together. She said Albany, they're all working on it supposedly, but she said Albany, I don't know how true this is, set aside $100 million for infrastructure, but they're concentrating on Route 31 first because of Micron, obviously, which is understandable. Now, all the properties, obviously, I received assessment letters on all of them, which have all increased. I mean, I understand, values have gone up, so I understand. And I'm not fighting those at all. But the 142, because, the zoning was changed to R4, which obviously increases the value of the property, but not if you can't do anything with it because of the sewer situation. So basically what I'm saying is, I'd like to leave the assessment the way it is, and I've been paying taxes on it for years, on all the properties, obviously, but paying taxes on it for years. Haven't been able to do anything with it and won't be able to until the sewers are upgraded. Once they're upgraded, I have no problem paying the extra taxes because then it's worth what it's worth, But right now, it's just maintenance. And I'm getting too old. I retired from the city water department after 25 years, and I'm getting too old to take care of all that stuff. I mean, can I do it? Yes. Do I want to do it? No. I want to start enjoying life a little bit more. I was taking care of, and still am, taking care of 4 houses and 7 vacant acres. I'm down to taking care of the 4 houses and 4 acres now instead of 7 because we sold the 1 lot. But that's my my spiel.
Okay, let me read some numbers in,
Yes,
and then I'll probably ask you a question or two.
Sure.
So I have a current tentative assessed value of $70,000 with a land value of $70,000, hence the unimprovements. And
Which is double what it was.
well, I was going to get into that. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So the petitioner believes the fair market value is $60,870. Is that correct? Well, no, I'm saying this because you had 35,000 written in here. Oh, that's because the assessed value.
That's what it was, yeah.
Okay, all right,
I didn't really know how to make that form out, but.
Okay, so, let's see here. $60,870 would be the petitioner's estimate of fair market value, which would be an assessed value of $35,000, which you're saying is what it was, and then it doubled to $70,000. All right, let's hold that thought for 1 second here. And I understand certainly your argument. I want to get into it just a little bit. You purchased the property for $25,000 in 2007. Okay. And then let me just.
Can I just say one more thing?
Sure.
The property was so thick with overgrowth, you couldn't look in there, let alone walk in there. I actually cleared the lot we just sold to, which was 3 acres, and that one, which was 4. I cleared 7 acres by hand with a 14-inch chainsaw.
Oh, wow.
By hand.
You improved.
Took me a few years. But I've got the 2 lower back surgeries, and I've got a plate and 2 rods in my neck with 20 screws. To prove it. Yeah, I've been through the mill.
Well,
but anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead and read that.
Sure. Yeah. So to whom it may concern, I am contesting the new assessment value of 142 Lafayette Road, Syracuse, New York, 13205. The rezoned Syracuse program upgraded this vacant lot to R4 status, which I agree with and fully supported. There have been numerous developers interested in this property to build very much needed affordable housing for which it has been zoned. I have a couple of signed contracts with deposits to purchase this lot. I've had to refund the deposits because the developers have been told that the sewer system cannot take the extra pressure for the housing that the property has been zoned for and therefore can't be built on it at this time, which makes sense. Counselor Majok is aware of this unfortunate situation and has told me that the city, county, and town of Onondaga are all looking into upgrading the sewer system, but it will take years to increase the capacity of the current system. I don't think it's fair to pay the property tax increase until such time the property can be used for what it is zoned for. I would agree and would have no problem paying the increase in property taxes associated with the increase in the assessed value of the property once the sewer system is upgraded. Thank you for your time and consideration, Gary S. Nasasi, and signed by Gary. So hold that thought for 1 second. What was the purpose of the increase?
It was a citywide residential.
Actually, hold that thought, because I've got to swear you in. If you can raise your right hand. State your name for the record.
Michael Lehman.
Do you affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay, great, thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. All the residential vacant lands, the 311 category were looked at, and this was included. The city believes that 70,000 is an accurate valuation for its assessment.
Okay, so I'll come back to you. So that's what I wanted to get into. This was not, well, it wouldn't have been and shouldn't have been, but it wasn't that there was word that, this was going to be developed and all that good stuff. You guys just did a complete reassess of the area. And when was the last time that was done?
So just to go to the first point there, the city did not target, per se, this property, and it hasn't been evaluated in at least 6 years. I don't have a record going back farther than that.
Okay, all right. So at least 6 years ago, it was looked at potentially and possibly rose at that time.
Perhaps I misspoke. This is the first increase in at least 6 years. So the last increase, I'm not sure when that was, but it wouldn't have been sooner than the last 6 years.
Correct. Okay. All right. Very good there. And, okay, so certainly not for the increase had nothing to do with what may or may not be happening. Okay. And large jump, double, of course. Try to keep in mind, again, we're not making any decisions here. I'm just giving you some things to think about. Try to keep in mind that potentially the assessment may have been a little bit lower than it should have been over the years, and now they're, re-looking at the area. So it's just, something to think about as far as that's concerned. But go ahead, rebuttal to what he had to say.
Yeah, I understand values have gone up, and I understand even though this can't be used for what it was zoned for at this time, I can agree with an increased assessed value, but I think double is a little overboard for the situation, especially for a guy that's retired and trying to do the right thing and build housing for everybody's screaming for housing. I can't wait for the sewer situation to get done, get increased so that something can be done with the property. I mean, it's been vacant my mother's been up there since 1938. And yeah, and I mean, I've been there all my life. I like I said, I grew up next door to where I'm living now. I'm going to be 66 years old next month. I've been there all my life. I know the area like the back of my hand. Pick up
that's very
trash
nice.
every single day. People throw it out the windows. Knob Hill, that's a whole nother story. Used to be really nice, but whatever. So anyway, like I say, I'm not going to complain about an increase. I just think double is over the top for the situation. A few years down the road, if the sewer increases, and it can be utilized for what it's meant for, I wouldn't mind paying the extra taxes, obviously.
So, points well presented.
Thank you.
As well as your information. So we will take everything into consideration.
Can I just ask one
Yeah.
question?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that there were you had multiple buyers and offers.
Yes.
Great question.
Could you tell us how much those offers were for?
A considerable amount because of the R4. I mean, I don't want to divulge. I mean, I don't know. Well, actually, it's on the market right now for $235,000. So, I mean, the value of the property's there, but not if it can't be used for that.
Great question.
You know, that's the problem.
Well,
And
hold
like I
on a
say,
second. Are you asking 235,000 currently?
Yeah, right, that's, yeah, I mean, that's what the realtor put it on the market for. I have no idea what it's actually worth, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I just know it's not worth double the taxes I've been paying when nothing can be done with it. I've been paying taxes on it since 2007, you know what I mean, for nothing, and cleared it and killed myself, and,
Well, yeah, but the assessed value of 70,000 is a market value of 121,739.
okay,
You're asking north of 200,
okay?
right? So
Doesn't
you
mean
are-
I'm gonna get it.
No, but
Trust me.
Understood. But I mean, if you were asking 130, then okay, we've got a little bit of an argument here. But if the realtor must have thought they're not wasting their time.
Okay.
They obviously think that the property must be worth in the ballpark of what you're asking, I would assume.
Again, I'm not a realtor.
Well, I know,
I'm
but
a
you
blue
wouldn't,
co-
you sound like you're an intelligent person.
It's been on the market for about 8 years.
Okay,
So,
so that's good information.
well, I mean, it's been on the market for all these years, and I've had the offers, but nothing can be done with it because of the sewer situation. So,
But why do you have it on the market?
because I'm 66 years old and I can't take care of it. Can I take care of it? Yes. I don't want to anymore. I mean, it's
So you're looking for somebody to purchase it and play the wait game, so to
does
speak.
everybody agree with the city needs affordable housing? Does everybody
Oh.
here agree to that?
Sure.
Okay. This is a 4.33 acre lot that's been vacant since before 1938. And it's a beautiful place to build. I mean, it just,
No, don't
it
dispute
can't happen.
that at all.
It can't happen until the sewer's increased.
That's right.
So why should I be burdened with paying more taxes until something can be done with it? I mean, like I say, I agree with an increase. I just think double's overboard. But
right.
that's your decision, obviously.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, no, that's fair enough. You don't have a copy of the listing agreement or anything, is that something you can pull up online? The listing?
I don't have it with me, but I can provide it if it's
Yeah,
available.
like
Yeah, it's
for the file.
CB Richard Ellis.
All right.
Has it listed. There's a sign up there and everything else. I mean, listen, I'm not disputing the property's worth, a good amount of money, but in the meantime, I'm burdened with the taxes and have been since 2007 with no return, just maintenance.
Sure.
Which is not easy to take care of. So, especially at my age.
Yeah, no, I don't, the.
And like I say, I agree
good
with, I
argument and
agree with the
timing and-
increase. All the other houses have gone up, and I'm not disputing that. I understand values have gone up. I just think double's a little overboard for right now.
All at once, right.
So,
All right, well, excellent. I appreciate everything.
I appreciate your time, and
And we'll deliberate, we'll come up with where we think it should be at.
Okay.
As an independent board of the city.
do you notify me, or how does that work?
Well, the city will send you a letter first week of April.
Okay, as to what your decision is.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
But no, good information, and I appreciate all the feedback. We also listened to the hearing again as we're deliberating, so
Okay.
it's
I
not
actually
where
think
we
I-
forget about it for
I
a
think
month.
on the form, didn't I put the amount that it was, it's not like I was trying to hide anything. Didn't I put the amount that we were asking for it?
Let's
I
take
thought we
a
put that on
look.
there.
Yeah, asking price 235.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I was trying to hide
No,
it, so.
and we don't.
That's what I wanted to make clear, I didn't want you to think I was trying to hide it. I mean, I understand, you got it assessed for 70,000, we're asking 235, it's kind of like, why are you even here? Well, now you know why I'm here.
Yes,
You know,
no,
'cause
that's.
it can't
but
be utilized.
Yes, and I don't think that you were trying to hide anything.
No, not at all.
Because yes, it is in fact right on the application. So, no, we're on the
Right.
same page.
I'll look for the letter.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
very much for coming in.
Bill, you remember me? Yeah, sure. Okay. I was a dispatcher for the city of Syracuse Water for 25 years.
I've
didn't wanna
talked to
say
you,
that before,
I've
'cause-
talked to you many times, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah, I was there for 25 years in dispatch. Thank you all.
Very nice, thank you.
Great time.
Okay,
Have to work together.
okay. And they're to be called first?
Yes.
Oh, all right, thank you. Let's see. got two properties here, 117, 119 Twin Hills Drive, and 179 Beverly Road and Crosset Street. How are you?
How you guys doing?
Good, how about you?
Good.
So you've got two properties?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I could see that was of concern.
Okay, and what, any particular order? You want them read? in?
Well, I think he had them Twin Hills, so we can do that one first.
Okay, all right. Let me swear you in. If you could raise your right hand.
Sure.
State your name for the record.
Howard Trish?
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay. I thought you were who you are, but I needed to confirm. Let me just read in some information.
Okay.
117-19 Twin Hills Drive. This is a two-family residence. Current tentative assessed value at $114,000 with a land value of $15,700. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $185,000, which would be an assessed value of $106,375. And let me just take a peek here. Purchased in 2022 for $130,000, a cash deal, and okay. So it looks like you submitted some information as far as comps are concerned.
Yeah.
And pictures, which we will go through. But let me turn it over to you, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I think what I was trying to state, I thought was fair based on what I saw in the neighborhood. All these properties are right there on Twin Hills. Probably don't all have the same thing, but, and I added the corner house at 121, which was at 113, or 101 in 2024, and now you want to go up to 113. All right, being a quarter house, more visible, a little bit more land, but you have mine going up to 114. The 105, jump down to the last one there, 105 to 107, I believe, was just purchased. And that one's at, was at 91, and it's showing 107. That's where I think I should be. And then the full market value showing 145 for 24, and then 186.
You're thinking you should be around,
Yeah. It's as similar as mirror image housing. I've seen it. Same layout, pretty much land values. Three houses up the block. So.
all right, let me just clarify though.
Yep. I thought I put 186 though, but maybe I didn't.
Well, you've got a market value of 185.
Yeah.
I think it was 187 and then 185 over it.
Yeah, it should be 186, 057. I think it should be comparable to 105, 107.
Okay, and that's fine, but that would put you, I just want to make sure so you're thinking your assessed value should be around 107?
Right. And
Okay.
then when you do the math, I think the fair market value comes out to that,
Okay,
right?
all right. And the city's at 114, okay, so not a huge difference, if you will.
Yeah, and plus the 121 is a corner house. Typically, those are a little bit more. You got a little bit more land, more visibility, and so forth. And you have that one up higher than what proposed for me at 117.
Yeah.
So you see the top one.
Yes.
Just wanted to reiterate that.
Yes. I hear you, people would say it's a corner lot. I understand what you're saying. I don't know that, for assessment purposes, it means a hell of a lot, but.
That goes into my next one, so once we finish that.
Okay, all right. turn it over to you.
Thank you. This entire neighborhood was looked at. Most of the properties were raised. And I have a comp sheet here, which I'm happy to share, which does include the property you just listed, sir, at 10507 Twin Hills Drive, which sold on November 30th, 2023 for $230,600, which is one of the numbers that I looked at. That is part of the math we use to come up with market value, which is, again, part of how we construct the valuation of the properties in the neighborhood. The others aren't as high as that one, but again, we looked at the entire neighborhood. I'll say modest increases. The property hadn't been increased in at least 5 years, increase of 13%.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the sale?
my
130,000, yes. What was
It was
who did you buy it
2020
from? 2022,
yeah.
paid 130,000. What were who'd you buy it from? Was it on the market? Was it
Yeah,
a
it was on the
realtor
market.
situation?
Yeah, it's on the market. And I saw it on the market and put an offer in.
Do you
There was
recall what
multiple
they were
offers
asking?
They were asking 120, I believe.
Did it need a lot of work or?
Inside, they did some remodeling on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you tend to that?
Yep. Remodeled the inside.
What exactly was done?
Remodeled the kitchens and bath and painted
Okay.
primarily.
Okay. So you upgraded kitchens and baths, and so it was an older home, and
Yeah, they're all around the same, 1920s, I believe.
okay. All right. So you brought it up to speed with the neighborhood.
Well, brought up to speed with what I thought that it needed and so forth as an investment property.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. And the city has submitted some comps. Okay. Anything you want to add?
No, I think I'm pretty on. I'm a real estate agent as well. I have my own comps. I looked at what those were, and I think I'm based on especially 105, 107, and
Yeah,
the sale price, and so forth. I think I'm pretty much on.
You're not asking
Somewhere
for
in the. I'm
anything
not asking for a ton
unreasonable.
more. I'm just, on this one, it's just, it might seem a lot, but tax, that's money,
Absolutely. Who are you working with, realtor-wise?
The home team.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Okay, I think we have enough information on this property here. And appreciate all the information that you've submitted as well as the city. And let me just go over and read some information in for 179 Beverly Road. Oh, if I could go back to this for 1 second. What are the size of the apartments and what do you get for rent?
They're probably around 1,500 square feet.
Okay.
At 1,330 for the first floor and 1,475 second.
1330, 1475, and separate utilities? The
I pay
furnaces,
for water.
yeah,
They're old, still gravity.
old gravity, the octopus variety? Okay, all right, but 1330 and 1475 plus utilities. All right, that sounds good. How many bedrooms?
2. And then there's extra floor on the second floor. So it's a finished attic.
Oh, is it finished attic?
Yeah.
Okay,
Half of it is finished.
okay. So the first floor is, they're not side by side, they're up, okay, so the second floor apartment includes the finished, half-finished attic.
Yeah.
And what's up there? A bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. How many rooms up there?
There's 3 rooms.
3 rooms. How many are used as bedrooms?
There's only two people there. I think there's one room currently that they're using as a bedroom.
So each first floor and second floor are 2 bedrooms apiece, and then we've got some extra footage in the attic for the second floor apartment. Okay. And there's heat up there and all that good
Yep.
stuff. Okay. Garage,
Two-car.
2-car detached.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I think
Similar
I'm,
to the other property, 105.
the one that you're mostly comparing it to. Okay. All right. Okay. So 179 Beverly Road. This is a single-family residence. Looks like we got a current tentative assessed value of 182 with a land value of 19,600. Petitioner believes the fair market value is 248,000.
That was the last increase a couple of years ago, I believe.
Okay, all right. I just want to update some numbers then. 248,000 is what you believe the fair market value is. Okay. Because on the sheet it had 295, so I just want to update that. Might have been from this stuff here.
Kind of went through,
Okay, that's
made
fine.
some adjustments. When I found the real property that is most comparable to, given the square footage, similar amenities, and so forth.
And that's why I just want to make sure we're on the same page, so we're comparing. 169,625 is the equatable assessed value. So looking for assessed value of 248.
That's the current one.
Okay.
55.
Well, let me read the numbers in again, just to make sure. So I've got a current tentative assessed value of 182,000, with a land value of 19,600. And then the petitioner believes the fair market value is 248,000, which would be an assessed value of 142,600.
It's just your rate from 2024 to.
Yeah.
That's
57.5, that's fine.
It should be around 260 or so. I think they're, yeah, because I just thought 2024, I thought it should just stay the same. And that was at
And then
155.
the equalization rate
Yeah,
changed.
so if your equalization rate changed, then I guess do the math on at 155 and see where it goes.
So when you say 155, that's the assessed value,
Yes, the current, well, 2024, that's
was 155,
150.
and that's for what you're looking for it to
Right.
be. Okay. Okay. All right, so $69,565 is the market value on 155,000 assessed value. Okay. Just gonna have you initial the bottom and maybe just initial the cross-outs and then the bottom would be great. Yes.
Just show everything.
Yeah, that's okay. And then let me just tidy up this here, 269,565. right, so just so we got apples to apples. City's at 182 for current tentative assessed value, petitioners at 155. And that would be a petitioner market value of 269,565, and the city at 316,522. Okay. All right, and let me just take a peek here. This was purchased at, for 165 in 2003. And this looks like there was a mortgage on it. Okay, and then we've got same type of thing as far as procedure, comps, and what have you. And looks like, okay, we've got the Beverly stuff up top. Okay, what can you tell us about that property? You said it was a single family?
Single family on the corner of Fawcett and Beverly.
Oh, all right, well, we got to add some for that then.
It has an extra lot, I believe. There's a pool there, garage, two-car detached.
It belongs with this property.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wood frame,
Your,
some upgrades.
this is not your residence?
This is my residence.
Oh, this is
yeah.
your residence? Okay. I was going to ask about rent. Okay, so, square footage, what we got for square footage?
Well, I did the total lot square footage, because that's what was in
As far as the lot's concerned, but not a
there.
breakdown
About
of the house?
3,300.
3,300? Colonial style? Okay. How many bedrooms?
4 and 1 in
5 bedrooms, finished attic,
the attic. Yeah,
somewhat.
need some work.
Yep, yep,
Haven't gotten there yet.
okay. And how many baths?
1, 2, 3, and 2 halves.
3 full and 2 halves?
Yeah. The attic. Needs some work. There's a bath up there, but
Okay, all right. And this is your principal residence? Okay. General condition?
pretty good.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of work.
Yep, okay. Recent upgrades?
Roof. 2 years ago.
You've been there since '03? Okay. Go ahead, did you want to say something?
Painted about 5 years ago.
Okay,
Outside.
yeah, your principal residence. Anything you have other than comps or?
I do have some comps, which I'm happy to share, and I will say, again, the entire neighborhood was looked at. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that there have been a lot of sales in this area in the past handful of years. We try to look at the most recent ones. Many of them are over $300,000, so that's considered while we're looking at the neighborhood.
Okay, yeah, and, okay. All right, so the city's presented some comps. Do you know when the last time it was looked at, that neighborhood? Just curious.
It's on the second page there. I believe it was 3 years ago or 4 years ago. 2022, I think.
Yeah, yep. 2021, it was 140, 2022, 155, and then 182 now, okay. And then we've got some comps. couple north of 300, pretty good, and then some, 285, 270. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else you want to add?
Oh, yeah. The one I looked at, this comparable, is
Okay, yes.
228 Stope. I think I might have wrote it in there.
Yes, I have
I
it.
found that. I think that one mostly represents comparison miles, although it's a brick structure. There's a picture somewhere there. It has a pool. It's a corner lot. It's actually, square footage wise, is more than mine, 12,341 square feet. That one's going up to, from 136, 2025 to 150K, and that fair market's at 260,870. I think that one most represents my particular property. And
On
it also has a
Stowe.
2-car garage. It's on Stope and Beverly, which is right around the corner.
We'll take a close look at
Yeah,
that.
there's some other signals on the corner, but once I start looking at comparable sizes, similar. Mine is probably, looking at the whole street, mine is probably the highest.
Okay. Just
So it
looking
might be
at,
in there somewhere, between 260 and 316. Pretty good jump.
yeah, it was 185. Michelle's getting mad
I
at me.
don't have what it was previously.
What's that?
I said, I don't have the information on what it was previously.
Yeah, no, I get that. I actually
Beverly?
pulled it out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 155.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate all the information that you supplied. We will go through this when we're,
Oh, you can have this one. This is the Stope corner one I showed. I just put a Google, shows the pool. of
okay,
Stope.
okay, yep, I got it. Very good. All right, anything else you want to add?
No, thank you.
All set. Anything else you want to add? No. No, appreciate all the information, and when we are offline, we'll go through everything with both properties. And then the city will send you a notice first week of April, 2 separate notices.
Okay.
And I
Sounds
won't let
good.
you leave without telling you that just loved you guys back in the day.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Just
A lot of fun.
everything that you guys did, wonderful for SU. Hopefully, we can get back there someday.
Yeah. Patient.
Yes, absolutely. You have a good day. Okay, okay.
Technically, that one's two down on the list. Do that one.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, next up is going to be 207 Parrish, sorry. Put an H in there. 207 Parrish. Okay. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So if he or she's going to speak, I got to swear and everything, all right?
She's probably gonna be pretty quiet.
Oh, quiet? All
Yeah.
right. Well, we won't swear her in yet then. Okay, so let me just make a note here. Okay, what I'll do is swear you in if I could. If you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Tracy Duncan?
Do you affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
Do.
Okay, great, thank you. So you're here for one property, which is 207 Parish Lane. Yeah, okay. So we have the application in here. Let me just read some things in. So it's a three-bedroom ranch dated 1950s. We have a current tentative assessed value of $92,000. That would be a land value included in that of 16,900. And the petitioner believes that the property is valued at $40,000. And she does put in here that that's a generous figure. And that would be an equatable assessed value of $23,000. And just want to check here. Okay. And let me just thumb through real quick here. Property was purchased for $63,000 in 2003, and nothing else on here. Okay. So is this your residence?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And so three-bedroom ranch dated 1950s. What else can you tell us about it and/or why we're at a market value of $40,000?
Well, I recently discovered that the tree between the sidewalk and the road, there is branches coming through my front yard into my foundation. So now I currently have a crack that's going through my foundation walls, through my basement floor, and the floor is starting to protrude up. And so now I may be having issues with my furnace. So I started redoing the basement on my own. Unbeknownst to me, I started feeling a protrusion in the foundation floor. So that is my concern, is that, with all the freezing and the melting going on, that there is something going on underneath the ground. That was never disclosed to me during closing.
Well, it was 2003.
Right.
It may not have been even happening at that time.
Right.
Because the roots grew.
Correct. So, yeah. So I think that they're definitely coming towards my home through the foundation, under the floor. And then, what's happening underground, I'm not sure, but it is starting to protrude through the basement floor.
It's the roots.
Well, only because you can see from the road how the roots are affecting the lawn going towards my home. So there is a dip, and then there's a hilly something going from the tree to my house, and you can see the dip where the grass probably normally would be. The level of it was there, originally there, but with the roots coming now, there's a protrusion from the ground up. So it would give me the belief that those are the roots coming from the tree. And you can see the sidewalk as well. Sidewalk is also very, it's all misshapen, I guess is a good word, but it's protruding. The sidewalk is not level at all. And
So,
there's water.
did you say you were starting to remodel the basement yourself?
I just was repainting the walls.
Okay.
I started doing that, and then I noticed that crack or whatever in the floor is getting larger, and I noticed as I'm walking over it that it's starting to have more of a protrusion, so like the ground is lifting up.
You think you should call somebody and have it checked out?
Well, I have been trying to get a hold of many people. I went through Thumbtack, I believe is a place, but nobody is responding to me. So I've had someone to just recently try to come over and look at my furnace, because I've noticed a couple things with that, and nobody ever shows up. So I have currently no cell phone because I'm going through my own identity theft issues. So I have no cell phone to call anybody. I have no way of communicating. So I'm going face to face with these people. And they're calling a number to verify, and then they're just not showing up. So I don't know what's going on. It's been happening over the years. And so it's taken me a while to get to this point because I'm dealing with just so many other personal issues.
Okay.
So,
All right.
And I did have someone, you know, working on the home that never mentioned anything like that to me as well. So I've been working like part-time and full-time for many years just to pay off some student loans and so forth. And so I'm just getting to a point of noticing that myself.
Okay. The condition of the property, other than what we talked about?
I believe it's in great condition. I'm just worried that, you know, this might be the initial stage and that it would progress. So right now, I don't know what the structural, how good the structure is. So somebody needs to come in. I'm not sure who to go through. So I thought I'd bring it to your attention, the cities, and see where we can go from here, just to kind of maybe be a little bit more preventative, so it doesn't get any worse. But
Yeah, I'm just trying to,
I was supposed to get pictures and things like that, but of course, I have no cell phone, and the people I've asked to kind of represent me here today with those were no-shows. So they didn't really want to get involved, I believe.
what people were those?
Just some neighbors that thought that they could help. I just didn't get the resolution that I was looking for. So, I mean, I was going to plan on bringing some pictures so you'd get an idea of what the property is. You're more than welcome to come down and look at it so that you have a better idea of what I'm asking about. But I'm also curious why the assessors, when they are walking around the property, don't notice that type of stuff. And I think also it's affecting my backyard, because I do see a huge dip, like a bowl kind of in my backyard. So a lot of water is pooling. Not a lot, but there's water.
Okay. Hold that thought for a second.
Okay.
Was this an increase in assessment? What was the background on this?
No, there was an increase in 2023, no increase for the 2025 roll.
Also, the equalization rate has changed, so they've kept instead of reducing it by the equalization rate, everything has stayed the same. My market value is 142,000. There's no way that house would even sell for close to that. The market value is 142. I think it's 98,000 for my assessed value. So anybody
Well,
that's
it's
been-
92,000, which is in a market value of 160,000.
Oh, see, I don't
actually.
have that. I didn't get the 2025s yet then.
Okay, all right.
So I would just, anybody that's coming around to assess my property is clearly not noticing that stuff.
Okay. I know this was not an increase in assessment, but I would like somebody to do a walkthrough, if that's acceptable.
Can arrange that.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely would like somebody to, I don't know if you can give, maybe after that walkthrough's done, we can give her some guidance on the basement issue, okay? All we can do is refer somebody to you.
But I mean, considering if the branches are coming from the tree that is between the sidewalk and the road, that is the city's responsibility.
Well, that's a whole nother issue that I will
Correct.
not get into.
Oh,
That has nothing to do with us.
Wow.
So I don't know whose issue it would be. I believe that, the city's responsible up to a certain point, and then you're responsible for the rest.
well, I can't be responsible for a tree that's protruding underground
Yeah.
from the city line.
Again, not going to get into that
Right.
debate, but that's something you'll have to take up with the city.
Gotcha.
We're an independent board.
Right.
But as far as the walkthrough's concerned, would it be yourself?
Yes, possibly one other person, but I would be there.
Yeah.
Okay, and are you, let's see, I've got your name on here for the current assessor. So that is Mike, is it Lyman?
This is my
Okay.
contact information.
And I also would like to note that I had many conversations with Ed Foles prior to getting here, but I also you know, had to take a step back from this because my mom's in a facility. I'm fighting it legally with my siblings, so it's also brought me away. That's another reason that it hasn't been completed sooner.
Okay.
Okay, so
Mr. Full retired, so.
Yes, I heard. But I did want you to know that I have discussed it with somebody
Sure.
previously.
Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is, we're going to have somebody, one or two people from the city, do a walk through the property for the purposes of trying to put the correct assessed value on it, okay? While they're there, they'll take a peek at the basement and bring back some information, and maybe we can, connect you with somebody as far as that's concerned. But again, the purposes of the walkthrough is just to gauge the condition and zero in on the correct assessed value. I'm not saying that 92,000 isn't it,
Right.
but let's do a walkthrough just to confirm one
Right.
way or the other.
I agree. Perfect,
So we can
thank
get a fair assessment on the property with respect to
Right.
you. Did you submit comps, or did you have comps, or should we hold on to those until the walkthrough's done?
I have comps, but why don't we hold on to them, please?
Yeah.
And I'd just like to mention, I noticed that you have the basic star exemption. If afterwards you go downstairs to the assessment office and see if you're eligible for any others,
Well,
just in
that-
case.
That's the thing, is that I have been going on to the website, and it says that star checks were supposed to be sent out, and I've never received a star check, so I am probably going to do an inquiry into that as well, because I'm not receiving any of the benefits of that. I see it on my paperwork that comes from the city with my tax bill, but I don't receive any checks. So again, I have just so many things that are coming up that I can't get to right at this moment because something else has taken precedence. So I will double check with the Star, and I know I can also go to Binghamton. I think I did call them and talk to them, but got very little information.
Why don't you hold that thought for a second? I think Michelle can address the
Oh.
star issue.
So if you have the basic start out of your account,
Yes.
you don't get a tax because you have it automatically turned off of your account.
Oh,
It's anybody, the state took over Star at 2015, people who applied after that, they have the checks now to them because it doesn't come out of the taxes because the state took it. So that's why you put it.
okay, so is there some way that that shows on my tax bill? Because I don't know how it's being reduced. I mean, it does.
Just when you're done here, if you step down to the assessment office, they can walk you through that. They can also check and see if you're,
Right. Maybe the enhanced star or whatever.
Right,
But that's room 130. Definitely stop there because you're here,
okay.
right?
Yes,
It's on the first floor, and just ask somebody if you're not sure. It's kind of on this side of the building, though.
yes. Yes.
And just tell them that you were up here, you believe you have the basics, you do have the basic star.
Right.
Could you check and see if I'm eligible for anything else? And then also ask them, and they'll show you where the reduction is with respect to the basic star. All right, so you understand that.
Yes, yes.
And then you said you don't have a cell phone. Okay, so how are we going to connect as far as?
I can give you my ex-husband's cell number and my son's. That's how I've been doing things lately. So his number is 991-9487. And that'll be Mike Politis
Is this your son?
Senior. That's the ex-husband. Worked for the city. And Michael Politis, my son, is 882-7436. And that's Michael, and Dimitri is the same number except for 38. Whether or not they,
Yeah, let's start off with, why don't you call Mike?
okay.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
start off with that.
Okay.
And hopefully connection can be general hours, Mike?
8 to 5, Monday through Friday?
Yeah, so give Mike a call, during the day, 8 to 5. try to connect with him that way, because, so he doesn't have to chase down these other numbers.
Okay, I
And then
can
you
do
could
that.
set a time, unless you can set a time now.
I'd have to look at my
Okay.
sched
all right.
calendar, but,
Fair enough.
I think that works really well, because I have a
Okay.
ton of court dates coming up, so.
okay.
Okay, I will definitely make a note to give you a call.
Please do, and we'll work out a time.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
All right, that sounds good, and then we'll see if we can get at least the assessment straight and at least some referral on the basement situation.
Okay, wonderful, thank you so much.
All right, and then ultimately, the city will send you a notice the first week of April with respect to what we feel the assessment should be.
Wonderful.
But it'll be somewhere in between, the city and yourself as far as what your request was and where the city's at currently at 92,000.
Correct. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
you have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Yeah. Okay, I have 1429 Stolp Ave and 747 Stenard. Say again? Oh, I'm sorry. So 1429 Stolp Ave. How are you? Good. So again, you're here for 1429 Stolp Ave. Okay. I'm going to swear you in a minute, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, if you can raise your right hand, state your name for the record. Do you affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability? Okay, thank you. So this is 1429 Stolp Ave. This is a single-family dwelling. Is this your principal residence? Okay. So let's read in some numbers. I have a current tentative assessment of $92,800 with a land value of $19,900. The petitioner believes the fair market value is $78,800, and that would be an assessed value of $45,310. Okay, so let me just see if I can pick some information out of the application. You purchased it for $70,800 in October of 2022 or thereabouts. You purchased it from your siblings. Was this your homestead?
Yes, it was. My mom was a life resident. She turned it over to me while I cared for her, and then I refinanced it.
Paid off the
To-
siblings and,
yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, and I'm just curious, did you, was a appraisal done at that time? Or how did you guys arrive at the 78.8?
So I had an attorney, and then we just negotiated a fair price between the
Fair
siblings.
price.
Yes.
So
So it was actually just between
it was
family
between
members.
family,
Yes.
there was no appraisal done. It was just a discussion of, you would have known if an appraisal was done.
Best of my ability. There, maybe during the legal procedures with the attorney,
Okay.
so, but that's
But,
what we agreed
but that, but it wasn't on the market, it was
No,
just a
no.
negotiation between you and your
We did have someone come
siblings?
in just to make sure that the house was sound. We had to go through an inspection.
Oh, home inspection?
yes.
That's good. Okay, that sounds good. And I think that is good. All I have is the application as far as the file's concerned. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the property?
So it's a single dwelling, two-story, attached garage. Okay,
Oh, yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry,
so
yes.
it was built, I believe, 1928. I've only been in it a few years. It has a side lot. It has a single bathroom. It has an unfinished basement.
You say you've only been in it for a few years.
Well, as far as,
You grew up there?
no,
Oh, you didn't grow up there?
no.
Oh.
I just came in and moved in to help my mother because she
Okay, so it
needed
was your
help.
mom's house, and
Yes.
you've been living in it for a few years, and that's it?
Yeah, and then I purchased it.
Okay,
So, it's a dining room, living room, it's just a basic, older home, and, plan to start doing things to it, but I was told given a verbal estimate that the roof needs to be replaced, the chimney, top part of it needs to be repointed, it has an enclosed porch and a deck, and, so just being a few years in ownership, I just thought that the assessment, I'm not quite sure how they came to that. There is a neighbor next door who lives next door to me who has a home that is, in a word, very unkempt, and there's debris in the front yard, the backyard. She's a very nice person. She's just a hoarder. So as part of the value for that area, I would think that my home it would be harder for me to sell it compared to, it really is bad. She's been called before about things that haven't been done to it. But not to accuse her of anything, I'm just speaking for the value of the
Sure.
area. So I just thought for 3 years and it going from, purchasing it for 78, 80 to up to 92,000, I just wanted to come here to see if
Yeah.
I might have some relief.
sure.
And that's all.
That's reasonable. Okay, let's see what the city has to say.
The assessed value hadn't changed. It had been 80,000 for as far back as I can see on this sheet, at least 5 years, which is more than what you purchased it for about 2 years ago. It had been underassessed, and I have comps to support the current assessed value. We did look at the entire neighborhood, similar houses, similar property sizes, similar number of rooms in the house, and most of my comps are in the mid between 100, 200,000. So the city believes that the new assessed value of 92,800 is appropriate.
I just thought with a single bathroom, upstairs, unfinished attic, unfinished basement, that those things would just be taken into consideration.
Yeah, no, and that's,
And then even next door, again, to the same house, I'm sorry to say about my neighbor, there's a tree in the backyard that literally belongs in a forest. It's gargantuan. And the roots go right in through the driveway, down the side of my side property. And it's just another thing I feel that and the big branches just come over the driveway in the back and the garage. I just kind of feel that it's, again, something to be considered for the value around my area.
you know the woman that was here last? She
I
has,
know, I didn't want to.
her tree's coming over to your tree, I think.
You could see it, it really does, like it could be at Rockefeller Center.
it's
If they
that big,
remove it,
yeah.
it would have to be by crane. It's the only way they would get it out. The only good thing for me is that if the westerly wind hits, it'll go the other way.
Right.
But that's about it. I was just hoping maybe,
Yeah, no,
only owning it for a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said that it hadn't been reassessed for quite some time?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. And we've got some comps here as far as the city's concerned. Glenwood Ave, I just want to check some prices. 160, 152, 134, 138, 195. And we're at 161 ballpark. Okay. So again, you said a third party believes that it needs a roof, some chimney pointing.
Yeah.
How about cosmetical inside?
Well, it would be great the bathroom needs to be completely redone. It's original to the house. It's an old, tub, and the roof, again, the attic is
It's got some deferred maintenance, comfortable for yourself, but
Yeah.
some
For a
updates.
resale, it'd be tough right now. to
yeah.
Get a great fair market value on it, to sell it. I
Right.
have to do the upgrades.
In the right current condition type thing.
Basement is, brick, unfinished, cement floor.
Okay. Well, other than that, it's apparent you don't like your neighbor.
No, I love her. She's from the Depression era. I understand absolutely where she's coming from. I can't even, I've never cited her, called the city.
Yeah, sure.
It's just one of those things.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm just joking with
Okay.
you. But okay, I think we have enough information, got some good information from the city. Yeah, we'll deliberate offline, if you will, and then come up with what we feel it should be assessed at. And the city will send you a notice first week of April.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming in. Okay. Those are those two. Oh, I'm sorry.
And
Yes.
then this one's
Yes,
after
yes.
that.
Okay. Thank you very much. 747 Stenard Ave. How are you? How are you? Good morning. You're here for 747 Stenard Ave.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna swear you both in, I assume? Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. If you can both raise your right hands. State your name for the record.
Angelica Post?
Colin O'Neill?
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So let me just read this property in. It's a single-family residence. Current tentative assessed value, $136,000, with a land value of $20,000. The petitioner believes the fair market value is $203,000, and that would be an equatable assessed value of $116,725. Let me just take a peek at the application. Okay. And then we have a note in here and some comp information. Okay, what can you tell me about, is this your principal residence?
Yes.
Okay, and how long have you been here?
About a year.
About a year, you purchased it, I assume, at that time. What was the purchase price?
282.5?
282.5?
Yes.
Okay. So let's put that in here. $282.5. And that was approximately when?
February of 2024.
February of 2024.
23
I have 2023.
That
We
sound about?
purchased it last year.
Purchased it last year in 2024.
This
Okay,
might be a mistake.
okay.
No, no worries.
Or 2024, okay. And was it on the open market?
It was.
It was
Yes.
listed by a realtor
Correct.
and,
Yep.
and all that good stuff. It was probably multiple offers and
Correct.
all that. Okay. Did you pay cash for it, or was it a
A
mortgage?
mortgage.
Okay. All right. And no relationship to the seller or
No.
anything? Okay. All right. That's just a little housekeeping thing. So, all right. You know we're going to ask the question. You paid 282.5, established market value at that. Understand that, multiple offer situation, but, and then we believe it's worth 203. So that's the hurdle you got to
Yeah.
get over.
So we acknowledge we overpaid for the house. We both grew up in the neighborhood, and we have a 6-year-old, so we wanted him to kind of grow up in a similar neighborhood, go to the same school we went to, so it's kind of a sentimental value to the property. And then, yeah, I mean, like you said, multiple offers. I know the market was very hot at the time. I think it's still hot. I don't think it's gonna really cool down until rates change or anything like that. But we knew we were overpaying for the house. We didn't get any kind of inspection or anything done. In the past year, we've noticed a few things that need work, things that we've tried to do work on, but there's a lot of work that still needs to be done in the house. The chimney, we got that inspected, and it wasn't available for full use. There was missing grout areas and cracks and stuff like that. They said we needed to get repaired before we could actually fully use it. The basement floor looked like fresh concrete. It's since cracked. We think they just kind of poured some concrete over the existing basement floor, and it's starting to have some issues there. So just like I said, we think we overpaid for the property. No, we knew we overpaid for the property. Just making sure that we wanted to get it. We wanted to get out of where we were living at the time. Yeah, just a few issues that we've come up over the past year. Looking at our comparables, we found a few other houses right in the same area as us, within a couple blocks. And we're on the way high end of properties in the area. We looked at, in our note, the comparables all increased in about 10.5%, 11% from the previous assessment, and ours went up almost 30%, so it just seemed a little, I mean, I understand that it's based on what we paid, but it just seems a little unfair to jump that high. I mean, I know our neighbor directly across the street just sold, and they were, I think, only $200,000. It was way less than ours, and they have a similar property size.
What about the condition?
Similar condition. I mean, it was a well-lived-in house. Strathmore's a neighborhood where houses are all in pretty good shape. Again, I haven't been in their house, so I don't know the state of their basement or attic or anything like that, but, just.
So, just tell me, obviously you walked through the property. I understand the situation as far as the multiple offers and overbidding and what have you. But what did you feel that you had to do to the property and/or what you found out in the last year or so that's derogatory?
Well, like I said, like the concrete floor in the basement. I mean, it's an unfinished basement, but we'd hope to kind of put some work in over the next few years on it.
It didn't jump out at you.
No, it looked like solid concrete. I mean, it must have been just freshly poured concrete within the past year.
Right, so you calculated that into your purchase price.
Thinking that it was a brand new floor, correct.
Is there anything that you didn't know that presented itself?
I mean, I guess it has a back deck on it. And again, freshly painted. The front fence is freshly painted. There's a lot of spots where there's rotted floorboards, rotted wood. That, I mean, we weren't walking out. It was February. We weren't working around on it. Didn't notice it. But having gone out there during the summer, I mean, there's just soft spots in the woods. We're a little nervous about using it fully. The railing more than anything has got the soft spots on it. So we're very careful about not leaning up against any railings or anything like that. So that's.
So you said that it was, you got a mortgage on the property.
Correct.
So the bank did an appraisal.
Correct.
Right? So if the bank didn't feel it was worth what you were purchasing it for, what did you put down with the property?
Sorry, what did we?
What was your down payment? Anything out of the ordinary?
No,
I think it was
no,
20,000.
10%.
Yeah,
give or take,
Required
yeah.
or what have you?
Yes.
Okay. So why am I asking those questions? Because the bank did an appraisal. They had to have valued it at close to or potentially even at or higher than what you purchased it for. You came up with, a normal down payment. So there's not that much skin in the game as far as the bank is concerned. So obviously you have good credit and all that good stuff. But the point is that the bank did an appraisal and they felt that it was worth what you were paying. Or they would have, made you come up with more down to protect their investment. So that's what we're grappling with.
Understood. Because I don't, the bank, I don't think they did any kind of inspection. We didn't have any inspection.
Bank doesn't do an
done.
inspection,
Yeah, so
they just do an appraisal to make sure it's worth what the money they're loaning out.
Okay.
Right? So they're gonna do,
Due
property
diligence on it,
comparison.
yeah.
Yes, but from a condition, yes, they're looking at a macro to make sure that there isn't any immediate need.
Okay.
Like if the roof had to be replaced right away, they would have made somebody do it prior to closing.
Understood.
So that kind of stuff.
I'll say it was noted on the appraisal that we got that there weren't any comparables in the area, and they had to go outside of the area to find comparables.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was a direct note on the appraisal, just no recent sales of comparable. So I can't remember what it was, but it said they had to go up to 1, 2, and 5 miles away as opposed to like in the direct area.
Half a mile. Normally it's half a mile
Yeah,
radius.
it said 1, 2, and 5 miles. I don't know if that's like they were setting a range or something, but that's what the appraisal said. Just
That's interesting. Do you have a copy of that appraisal by chance?
not on us. We can mail it in or something like that.
Yeah,
that
if you
would
could
help.
submit it, can they email that to you?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I'd like to take a look at the comps.
Yeah.
Because it's, by you saying that, that tells me that, they needed to go find.
Yeah.
And so, something that matched up with your price.
Okay.
So that's important, in your defense.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add? I'll come back to you, but,
Okay.
okay, all right.
I think we touched on everything here. We did provide some of the properties.
Yep, which we'll go through, yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely. Okay, Mike?
Thank you. Yes, there was an increase of $21,000 in the assessed value. There was another neighborhood-wide valuation in which we did look at comparable sales. A few others on Stenard, Allenson, Carlton. Happy to share these with the board. And these sales are all over 200,000. One exception is a smaller property and one fewer bedrooms. But the city, again, did a neighborhood valuation and believes that 136 is an appropriate assessed value for the property.
We have some comps from the city. I'm sure you know this, but you didn't purchase the property and the city, came and, targeted you. It was an
Right.
area-wide
Yeah.
resale. And those are happening a little bit more often these years because the market has been really
Understood. Yeah.
changing. So I just wanted you to feel comfortable with respect to that. So we will take a look at so they would have the basic star.
I didn't show any exemptions on
Yeah, I
your
see
account.
that, no exemptions.
So-
But isn't that something that they should apply for? Okay. Do you know if you have the basic star exemption? Who would they check in with that?
Oh, we can't go downstairs and do it?
No, because the state took it over back in.
Oh, that's right. You just said it in the previous. Okay.
You would get a check.
Okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't appear by this note here, and that's why I asked. It says no exemption, so I don't think you have the star exemption.
No, we don't.
Okay, so that's something that you definitely want to take. It's not a huge windfall, but hey,
Something.
every little
Yeah,
bit
okay.
helps.
Yep.
So, when you were purchasing this property, I'm sure it was a whirlwind, but did your realtor at least, get you aware that the assessed value is probably going to go up at some point, given your purchase? It's just good that they hopefully did that, so you didn't zero in or you know, that, you know, you're gonna pay taxes on this amount. So hopefully, you know, you were,
Yeah, and I think, based on this, I think we did kind of give ourselves, you know,
An increase.
Yeah, an
you know,
increase
we understand that it
comparably
should be
to the
increased,
ones
we
that
just think it
we-
was.
yeah.
a little
Understood.
excessive.
I just didn't want you to totally be blindsided.
No, yeah, no, we were
type thing.
expecting some increase in, like you said, with paying over the market value or whatever, but, we just thought it was higher than it needed to be.
Okay, all right. All good points. So, yeah, I think you just go on, you know, the state website.
Okay.
And search around for star
We can do that.
exemption, yeah. And anything else you want to add?
No, thank you.
All set. Anything else you want to add?
No, we're all set.
Good, okay. All right, so we'll take everything into consideration with respect to what you have presented, as well as the city. And then the city will send out a notice first week of April.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you very much for coming in.
Grievance, good to see young people in the city.
What's that?
Notwithstanding your grievance, it's good to see young people in the city.
We were happy to buy. Like I said, we both grew up in the neighborhood, so we were, as soon as the house went on the market, we're like, oh, let's go take a look at it. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
This is number 7 on our list, 263 Robino Road. Yes, all set for you. How are you? Good. You're here for one property, 263 Robino Road.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm going
I
to
will,
eat it if it gets any closer.
Yeah. Get that right up close to you.
You won't have any trouble hearing me.
Yeah, that's fine. No problem. So let me just swear you in if I could.
Yes.
If you could raise your right hand, state your name for the record.
Kathleen Doherty.
You affirm to tell the truth and give accurate information to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay, great, thank you. So we have 263 Robino Road. This is a single-family residence. Is this your residence?
It is.
Okay. And we have a current tentative assessed value of $160,000 with a land value of $21,100. Petitioner believes the fair market value is $230,000.
Going on the full value, right? The full value.
The full value, the full
Right.
market value, yes.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to compute your 58 or 60%, et cetera.
Okay, well, let's, and that's 57.5?
Yes.
57.5, right. So that would equate to a assessed value of $132,250.
Okay.
So that's, so,
At the first 57.5%.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we're looking at is, really, we zero in on the assessed value, but we use the market value to kind of back into that.
Understood. Sure.
And so the city's at 160,000, and you're at 132,250
Right.
assessed value.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yes. And that would, and you're at 230 market value, and the city's at,
278.
I'm sorry, 230, 278, 261.
Right.
Just so you understand how we're trying to arrive
Yes.
at the final. And then I just wanted to glance through your application. Looks like you purchased the property for $178,000 in 2017.
Correct. November. Yep.
Yep, November 8th of 2017. There's a shed that was erected in June 2024. And
I mean, essentially, the new full value would be 100,000 more than we paid for it 8 years ago, not even. But more to the point, the comparables compared to my neighbors is way off. We have the smallest house, and by the way, as I pointed out, the assessment has the incorrect size of our house by over 200 square feet.
All right, so what do you have as far as?
Everything I provided to you.
Okay.
So the assessment on our house is,
Well,
Oh.
what's the square footage?
the square footage is 1732,
Okay. What do you have?
1940.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's right here. I mean, it shows, it's a small house. It's like, they consider it 1.5 stories. There's no garage, or no, there's no attic. It's a very small house between two very large houses, 4,000 square feet and more. So for whatever reason, this is off by over 200 square feet.
All right, so we'll check that. Could that be thinking that the second, what is the second floor, just unfinished attic space?
No, it's like a half story up. There's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
Oh, okay,
And then there's a storage, well, it's like in an eave.
right.
And both bedrooms are eaves. It's a,
Okay, so it is finished space up there.
oh, yes, absolutely.
All right. So that wouldn't be the culprit, if you will. Would you happen to have a survey?
I don't have it with me, but I have one.
Is that something we can get a copy of?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'm just, I looked at the comparables for the 4 houses that are directly across the street from me, and I looked at the ones right and left, because the 2 houses right and left of me are almost like mansions. They're beautiful old homes, stone, slate roofs, all the beautiful stained glass windows. In fact, one of the 2 houses has a double lot with a tennis court. I mean, we're talking about very nice homes, and then you got my little gatehouse where the gardener lives in the middle.
What are those assessed for?
A lot more than mine. I
okay.
included it in here. I put it in my letter. It's all there. They're, they're assessed for quite a bit more than mine, but so are the 4 houses across the street are all larger than mine, and all got assessed less than mine. I have the highest assessment of all
Well,
these houses.
yeah, we don't,
And they're the
yeah,
comparables.
Don't need to know about the ones that are assessed
Right.
much more, but let's
Right.
zero in on the ones across the street.
Right, and so I've laid that all out in my letter to you.
Okay.
And the size of the houses comparative to mine, all are larger, all have more bedrooms, more bathrooms. The highest of the 4 that I referred to is, the new full assessment would be $240,000. That's still $38,000 less than what my proposed assessment is. And that house has 5 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. I have 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. There you have 2,000 square feet. I have 1,732 square feet. Every one of these, and I made a chart, I mean, it's all right there. Every one of these is a large house compared to mine. All of them have more bedrooms, more bathrooms, and I don't understand how, I looked at it and thought, well, they have me between these 2 beautiful homes, so I must be kind of like, swept up in that, because there's really nothing to, like when my house was sold to me, it was listed as a 2-car garage. It's a 1-car garage. It said it had central air. There was no central air. I had to install central air. We had to update electrical because it was original. I mean, this was not some, stunning home. It was the house we downsized in from our house on Strathmore. We literally moved 2 blocks away.
Okay. What were they asking for that when you purchased it?
It started at $190, and it sold it for $178, $176. I can't remember which.
I was just curious.
Yeah, because of these things that we found. I mean, there was, there were issues.
Yeah. So there was a reduction at that time.
Definitely.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean,
All right, so and you have, and we'll zero in on the information that you provided. Especially the ones across the street. In other
Right.
words, the ones on either side of you, they're not comparable, so we won't even waste time.
Right.
We're aware of them, but
Yes.
the meat of it is across the street.
Considering the size error, which is clear here, it's an addition error, I'd like to reevaluate the property. This is a big enough inconsistency in the math that's provided. I'd like to have another look at it.
Okay.
Okay. And so would you like her to send in the survey?
If you have it, that'd be great.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
happy to.
So is that something you can scan and email?
Absolutely.
All right, so, so when we're done, if you could just check in with
do.
Michelle.
Sure.
She'll give you the email address. There's probably one on there.
Right, Mike, I can just send it to you?
Yes, you can. Thank you.
Okay. Great, great.
So that would be really important if you would.
Sure, okay.
So then we can just confirm.
Mm-hmm.
And you're under oath, we're obviously believe what you have to say, but it's important for the documentation in the file.
Oh,
to have
absolutely.
the survey.
Understood.
So, okay, so what the city is saying is that as long as they can confirm that it is in fact a discrepancy, they'll update their records, number one, the inventory, and then also retake a look at the current tentative assessment, and there should be, I don't want to speak for the city, but there
Right.
should be some adjustment there.
Okay.
Based on the lack of square footage.
Okay. You know, I think the only other point I'd like to make is just that the assessment is already, the full assessment is already 50,000 more than we paid for it. And to put it up another 54,000 just seems pretty excessive, given the other factors I've already raised.
Okay. No, good point. Good point. You're usually only allowed to make 1 point, but we'll let you make 2 today.
Very kind of you.
Yes, absolutely. We'll make an exception.
If you let me talk, I'll keep going. You can tell I'm a little,
Three
I'm
or
a little
four
wound
points.
up about this issue.
No, as you should be. But no, I think you presented a nice case. You certainly brought up, if nothing else, it sounds like the square footage is indisputable, but we'll confirm that.
Okay.
And then Mike will get to us with an adjustment if that's
Great.
the case.
Right.
And then we'll take a look at everything and see where we should be.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in, and it's okay to be the gardener.
I'm no kidding.
It's okay.
It was
There's nothing
intentional.
wrong with it. Absolutely.
It's
So-
a nice street. It's a
Yes,
good-
oh no, and
yes.
so
Gardner on a good
here's the thing, my sister owned that big old property with the double lot and the tennis court when she was married to her first husband. So I'm very
okay.
familiar with that, and it's funny because, and I grew up on Stolp Ave, we moved from Geddes to Strathmore to Robino, so, grew up on Stolp. So when my sister was living in the house, the mayor, it was Mayor Rollins, the original mayor, one of the mayors of Syracuse lived there. And so I would look over, I never even noticed this little house next door. I'm like, there's the gardener's house. And there's your gardener's house. He was like, don't be funny. And so I love the house, but it is quite small. It's not like the beauties that are surrounding it. But I appreciate it.
It's your house.
It's mine.
That's the
And my husband and I were downsizing from Strathmore 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It was intentional to go to the gatehouse.
Absolutely. Well, no, that's nice, and that's a nice story.
Yeah.
And, it sounds like a nice area. I've been over there
Yeah.
periodically.
Is it our area is the one that the city did the reassessment of?
Well, several
I mean,
areas,
but
yes.
that, okay.
But yes, they don't go and pick one
Oh,
house and
no,
one
no, no,
house.
no. I thought
They-
maybe a neighborhood or,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was one of them that were
Okay.
looked at this year.
the reason I asked is because I have 7 siblings who all live in the city. Well, I think 6 of the 8 of us live in the city. And I asked them if anybody else got a reassessment, and they had not. And I'm like, why am I so lucky?
Exactly. Don't worry. Tell them we'll see them
It's
next
coming.
It's coming. Actually, funny that you say that. There is, I believe, if I can speak about the citywide There is a
Yes.
citywide reassessment that's coming.
Understood.
Uh,
Couple of years from now?
maybe 2028, maybe.
Okay.
So, and that, you know, it just hasn't been done. I think it was done in the 90s. Yeah, so everything will be looked at to try to get everybody back, you know, to equal
Right.
status per se, and then, you know, go from there.
Right. Is it, those talk about 100%, right?
Yeah.
In that, at that point?
100%, and then,
Yeah.
you know, then it'll, you know, now it's at 57.5.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, nearing the 50%, so we need to get everything back in order.
Okay.
And then once that takes place, then, you know, everybody hopefully will be,
Be more parity,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
That'd be great. Thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Oh, we appreciate you coming in. Drive careful, of course.
I'm just going to walk across the street to my job.
I was fortunate enough to be at a party at Anne's.
You were.
Back there, yes. That was quite a house.
Yes, it was quite a house.
Well, once the weather breaks, you and your husband go over and start playing tennis.
Basketball, tennis, now they put,
Absolutely.
the new neighbors have put in some kind of like huge pond. But we have a enormous, what are those trees called? The real tall, skinny trees that like act like a hedge, but they're quite tall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so we keep to ourselves and let them party on.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
You take care. Have a good week.
This is one to read in. I was notified that they did call and leave me a voicemail while we've been here that they wouldn't be in today. So I don't know if it's being rescheduled or just canceled until I get back. But read it in for today and then go from there.
Okay, I'll reiterate what you just said. Okay, so we do have one last property on the list for our purposes. It's number 8. And this is property number 8 for today on our list. And that is 8 properties for today. Okay, so this is 217 Markland Ave. This petitioner called in and said that they were not going to be able to come in today. We'll make contact, Michelle will make contact just to see if they want to reschedule or they want to leave it at the application petition in the file, which is the only thing that's in there information-wise. So once again, 217 Markland Ave. It's a 2-story colonial. Current tentative assessed value of $59,000. That would be included in that. 8,700 is the land value. The petitioner believes that the fair market value is $45,000 to $50,000, so a range of $45,000 to $50,000, and that would be an assessed value of $25,875. I'm assuming that assessed value is taken off of the fifth. Oh, it's from the lower amount. Okay, got that, and I'll make a note of that. Yeah, I was going to say the higher amount, but that would be the way to do it, the lower amount. Okay, so once again, let me just thumb through the, actually it does say that the property was purchased for, $6,800 in 1965. 4/15 of 1965, so I can attest that I was not born then, but soon thereafter. And that's pretty much it as far as the application is concerned. So we'll get a little more feedback from Michelle, and we'll bring this back at a later hearing date as to what we're going to do. With that, it's 10:52, and we will close the meeting for today. Thank you. think tomorrow is about the same as today?
Yes.
Residential